Hello, career thought leaders. It's so good to see you. And we are in Brady Bunch view today, talking to some of the experts in our field around what we can expect for 2026. And we are going to be introducing them and having them share some of their top tips for 2026. So you don't want to miss this. So I am Marie Zimenoff. I'm the CEO of Career Thought Leaders, and we have a lovely group of experts here to share with you today. We are going to kick it off with Madeline Mackey. So Madeline, you've been in business, you're in private business, but you also have a background in a lot of different industries. Tell us a tiny bit about your background, and then what are your top tips for career professionals in 2026?
Sure. Well, it took me 40 years to figure out what I wanted to be when I grew up. I'm a published biochemistry researcher. I worked in professional theater for 15 years, where you were laid off every 8 weeks. And then I went to go work for an international nonprofit. And then I started my business as the CEO and Chief Career Activator of Madeline Mackey and Associates. So I know a little bit about career transition. And I would say my top tips for both job seekers, career professionals, and career management resume writers is we all need to diversify our revenue streams. And one of the ways I've done that is I've added speaking and training to my business model from day one. And I will say that was the best move I could ever make, because speaking, number one, became a really great way to advertise my services and get people to know, like, and trust me. After hearing me speak on stage for an hour or doing an all-day workshop, they really got to know me and my expertise. And eventually people started calling me and saying, come speak at our conference, come speak to our employees. And that has been a lifesaver, because now I have government contracts, corporate contracts, and all sorts of roles all related to speaking. So my advice to everyone is find something you enjoy doing and see if you can turn it into a side hustle or another revenue stream.
Oh, I love that. And the entrepreneurial mindset that we all need to have going into the future. As you're saying, doesn't matter if you're running a business or you're employed, finding those ways to add to your portfolio is key. So thanks for sharing that. And we'll circle back around. So if you have questions for Madeline, drop them in the chat. If you've got an awesome thing that you do to increase your revenue streams, you could share that in the chat as well. So say hello and let's hear from Angie. So Angie, you've been in several different careers and now helping careerists in their jobs.
Yeah, I've been on quite the journey in my professional life, and all of that I think naturally culminates to, wanting to support other people in kind of finding the satisfaction that we're able to when we go through all of these changes. And what I'm really thinking about in our roles as practitioners in the coming year is kind of two parts. How do we stay relevant in business, but also how do we make sure our clients are staying relevant in their careers and in their job searches? And as we get more and more and deeper into the technology, the digital age, and now the AI age, I think that there's an interesting kind of two sides of a coin happening where we really do need to be keeping up with what's happening technologically. And I think about being an AI-enabled human on purpose. So what that means is we have a responsibility both to the solvency and future and sustainability of our own businesses, but to our clients to understand what it means to be AI-enabled and to use that ethically in this world. We are not in a position to just stick our heads in the sand and ignore that. But on the flip side, we're also a little bit in the AI gold rush right now, which means everybody is over-indexing it and putting it everywhere they possibly can, which also is not no, we live in this world of two extremes. No, everybody, no, right? So I think there's also this idea that like we're overdoing it a little bit, and we need to kind of pull back and find a nice like 4 to 8 p.m. flow of AI-enabled human on purpose. And from my perspective, the career services space has always had a need for more what I'm going to call human first transformational coach fundamentals. And this is not dogging any of us. I think that the service we provide is naturally very transactional, actionable, and people come to us because they want those very tangible outcomes-based services. But that doesn't mean we can't create transformation at the same time. And if we approach our businesses with this very human first idea of helping these people that want to go through through career transitions transform, or helping them understand what it's like to be enabled with AI, we are actually setting ourselves at a completely different level and differentiating ourselves from other coaches who may still be operating at that very tactical level. Because I do truly believe that the future of coaching is human. And if y'all have been in some of the coach rooms I've been in, you would realize how available we have. Like, the AI has not been adopted in the coaching industry very, very much. And so we have a huge opportunity to be enabled by that, while also being very human first in how we support our clients.
Well, I think there's a huge group of our professionals, like you're saying, that have the upper hand already, right? We have, I don't know if Angie's
We've
still
got a
talking,
troller,
or
but
if
it's
I'm
cool.
talking over him. Okay, there we go. For a minute, like, I could see you talking, but I couldn't hear you anymore. So we've got a bunch of professionals that are trained in counseling, career counselors, and a large audience of ours is career counselors inside of universities. And they're worried that they're going to lose their job because students want the technology. But what I hear you saying is lean into the fact that you have these helping skills, and you may have deeper helping skills than other career providers or practitioners because you come from this counseling background. You come from that helping skills already. And of course, having a master's in counseling myself, that's what our programs have always focused on, is building the transformational human connection skills. And then when we started teaching technology, it's just the way to make it even better. It's the way to spend more time on the transformation, because you're using the technology to do the parts of the job that can be sped up with technology.
But I really do believe, I wish that soft skills had never been a term that was put out into the world and made to be just broad scope truth, because I really think human skills are where we need to focus, because AI is going to help us all be intelligent, right? It brings us IQ, it brings us access to knowledge, but it doesn't give us wisdom, and it doesn't give us the human skills that help us build the connections that I think people are going to seek. And that's where I think we have an opportunity.
Yeah. Well, let's go to Anthony, because Anthony, you are doing this on the front lines in a community college setting where you're trying to put together the AI and the helping skills that your students need to launch their careers.
Hi, everyone. Thank you for having me, Marie. I appreciate it. Can you guys hear me?
Yes.
Okay, good. Okay. Marie kind of paused there. I was like, oh, my audio isn't working. Anthony Musso, Highland Community College. We're in Freeport, Illinois, which is Northwest Illinois. We're like an hour from Wisconsin, an hour from Iowa. So we're like in that corner there. Yes, I've been working in higher ed for the last 6 years. And prior to that, I was an employment case manager for the homeless population in Rockford. And that kind of led to my career in higher education. I have been for the last 2 to 3 years. I would not say I'm an AI expert by any stretch of the imagination. I think I could name a few, but I don't think I'm one of those. But I have attended many trainings. I've explored with it myself. I would say I am a regular user of AI, and I did see the need to bring that into higher ed and bring that to students at a kind of a beginning level type of thing. And that's what I'll talk most about in the conference in April, while also talking about how we've expanded career services across campus at Highland.
Yeah, and you're using some assessments and some generative AI tools, and of course, community college students, it's a broad audience. You're seeing traditional age students, you're seeing a lot more non-traditional students, and I love how you're bridging all of that using some of these tools. Yeah. And then Deborah, kind of on the other end of things, working with executives, and what are you seeing in that space right now?
Oh, wow. Yeah, that space has been a roller coaster this year. So I'm Deborah Boggs, founder and CEO of DNS Executive Career Management. I'm based in Maine, but our team is nationwide. Really excited to be speaking at the conference this year about a topic that I love for our group is business development and how we really grow our businesses as career practitioners. When, as you said at the top of the call, we are helpers naturally, right? So a lot of times these things feel uncomfortable when it comes to the sales and things. So to answer your question, what we're seeing in the market right now, really long lead times for our clients to get jobs, right? That job search process is taking forever. We're seeing, 8, 12 months for a lot of executives and 7 to 9 rounds of interviews. So it's a really long process because it's, it's an uncertain market and people are getting jobs, but it is really lengthening. And what matters for us as practitioners is that our clients are also uncertain right now, right? About what to do, how to get help, what help they need, things like that. So we're seeing the sales process really lengthen as well. And so I'm going to come to the conference to share how to capture more leads through some lead magnets in ways that just feel more natural for all of us, because we are all helpers. Because I know our team, certainly myself included, and most of our colleagues are incredible at putting helpful content out into the world. We put an incredible amount of content out there. And what I actually really learned about myself earlier this year at a business mastermind group that I'm part of is that I'm doing almost nothing to capture that. People are reading it, people are getting help from it, and I'm not giving them the opportunity to raise their hand and say, I'd like more content and learn more about you, other than going straight to a sales call. But there's so many other steps that people need from us right now. So I'm going to be sharing how to build really easy lead magnets that people can raise their hand and say, hey, I like your content. I'd like to see more of it. And then you can nurture those relationships so that they call ready to buy when they're ready. So really excited about this. Going to make it really approachable for everyone to do this in a way that feels natural to you and not in a way that feels salesy or overly pushy, or all these things that I feel that a lot of our colleagues struggle with. So really excited about this topic, and I'm testing some lead magnets now. So I'll share some data too for all of us fellow nerds.
Yes. Well, and it's become an opportunity for people to connect, right? It's that you're offering them ways to, I call it joining your community. It's not just about pushing sales.
It's not. It's about getting the information, about sharing things. We share an incredible amount of content through YouTube, through a podcast we launched this year, through our newsletter. I had to get really comfortable with emails. Guys, I sent an email once every 2 years to my email list because I didn't want to bother anyone. That's crazy. And so now I send emails about once a week, but most of the emails, 80% of the emails, are really helpful in nature. And then only a few are related to sales. And that's been great for us to really stay in contact and in touch with our audience that gain a lot of value from what we have to share. So our newsletter has grown exponentially this year because I finally gave a way for people to raise their hand and say they wanted it.
I love that. Yes, we don't get if we don't ask. And people are the same way. They want help. And if we don't give them a way to ask, they can't get help. So if you're just joining us and you're thinking, what is going on here? We are talking with experts from across the field. They are giving you some tips to help you with your business, with your practice. And we're giving a little preview of the symposium because our registration price will increase on December 18th. We'd love for you to join us if you are a career services practitioner in private practice, in the university or community college space. We always have some military folks join us, especially when we're in San Diego. So we'd love to have you join us in person, where we can really focus on our learning and get together and think about how we help people better. Especially today, I saw the numbers come out that the unemployment rate has gone up. People need more help than ever, and we need to sharpen our toolbox so that we're ready to do that work. All right, so next, Erica, you would help people with their career change as well, and also working with how we can incorporate AI in a way that helps us serve people better. Go ahead and share a little bit about yourself. Uh-oh, we might have had a freeze.
I'm having a connectivity issue.
Oh, there we go. Okay.
Sorry about that. Can you guys hear me now?
Yeah, we can hear you.
All right. All right. I think one of the biggest challenges and going into 2026 to kind of think about is job seekers are so overwhelmed right now, and they're so anxious about what's occurring within their space, but also within the world. And, coming of it from that lens of like identifying that a lot of our individuals we're working with are burned out, and their confidence is lacking, and they need a lot of emotional and regulation coaching. And also I think they're concerned about AI taking their jobs, and we're looking at it from that lens of how do we integrate technology and AI in a way that enhances and not replaces the human communication, which is in the human connection. And I know we've talked about that, so a lot of us have some like synergistic messages, which I appreciate. And I really want people to walk away with practical ideas that they can totally immediately apply to their work, and whether they're supporting students, job seekers, or professionals navigating change, that they have.
Uh-oh, we lost you again. Well, there you are. All right. Well, we are going to move in and we'll have Kyla share. So Kyla, you also run a small business and you're going to be sharing some tips on how to provide great service.
Yeah, I am your career alchemist, transforming jumbled words into powerful brands. But even though I write resumes today, mainly, I have a strong background in business. I used to teach in the business school at the University of Colorado. I've owned multiple businesses, and I was even a coach at the Small Business Development Center back in Boulder, which was #1 in the nation at the time. So I have a background in that. And the thing that I was thinking about a lot leading up to this opportunity to do a workshop at the conference is just how it feels like there's a lot of talk about how to chase clients, how to post on LinkedIn and make a blog and do this and do that and buy advertisements or whatever. And the thing I want to talk about is how to get clients to come to you through referrals and raving fans. So that's really what my resume business has been built on, mainly because I'm lazy, but that's how I've gotten my clients over the last decade. And I want to share how that's happened for me, because I think it'll resonate with a lot of different people. The #1 tip that I'd like to give people today, and I would like to even give this as a little pre-homework assignment if anyone wants to come to my workshop, is to really start thinking about why are people coming to you. And in the world of AI, this is really the human element, right? This is why people hire us. They want us to solve their problem, right? And maybe they don't even know how to articulate that problem to ChatGPT. So we're there to solve their problem. And what problem is it that we're there to solve? For example, I say this to my clients a lot. I know you didn't come to me because you want a resume. You came to me because you want a job. But there's so much more underneath that. As coaches, what we need to do, what we're going to do in my workshop, we're going to peel the onion. We're going to enter the hall of mirrors. We might cry a little bit, but we're going to dig really deep to get under that layer of, okay, they want a resume. No, they want a job. No, they want to earn enough money to pay for daycare. There's so many layers underneath. And if we can really identify what is the reason people are coming to us for, then we can start to give them what they need. And we can give them all these delightful extras that they never expected, that will keep them coming back, and that will have them telling their friends, you have to work with so-and-so. If you don't, I'm not letting you come over to dinner anymore. We want to develop those kinds of fans. Just an example of things that I do. Everybody who comes to me who gets a resume, LinkedIn, cover letter, they get my job search strategy ebook. It's something that I've had to create one time and I can give to everybody. And finding those little nuggets where you can create something that you can reproduce for people. And now even on top of that, I'm giving everyone a custom job search strategy as kind of a project wrap up. Because I can just plug it into AI, and now you can train your AI so easily to deliver things in your voice that there's no reason not to do these things. And what I'm finding, at least in my business, is that by doing these extra things, it's creating those referrals and those raving fans and getting people to come back. So I don't have to do all the extra advertising that I don't want to do. Although, Deborah, I did send an email today, a newsletter. I hated every moment of it, but I did it to do a holiday special. But yeah, so anyway, that's what we'll be talking about. Again, my tip is just really, you think your clients are coming for one thing, but what are they really coming for? And serve that need, not what's coming to you on the surface.
And that exercise can be powerful for anyone in any type of role, right? Even for Anthony in the community college, because you've got to get your engagement numbers up, your participation numbers up. And so you're thinking about the same thing. And we just finished a boot camp with some business owners where we were going through that process of thinking about for 2026, what are you going to focus on? What services, what is that going to be? And you want to start by looking at what things are people already engaging in, and how do I magnify that next year, not spend a whole bunch of money and effort or whatever promoting a service or a program that people aren't buying, people aren't taking you up on. Okay, so we did get the news today, as I was just saying, that the labor market, the unemployment numbers are up. So let's shift gears just a minute. And for those coaches or counselors that might be helping job seekers who are struggling right now, what is your top tip for helping those people launch 2026 job search? Like, what is the best way that we can help people get out of a job search rut and finally land in 2026?
I think Kyla nailed it. The strategy. It's all about a key strategy where 80% of your time involves talking to people and not sitting on job boards day in and day out and spraying and praying, as we know many people do. But that strategy part, I do a 30-minute strategy with every single resume package. And with that strategy, we are making their target list of companies. We are going over LinkedIn and exporting their LinkedIn contacts, sorting those contacts by company, and saying that's the start of your outreach. You're going to reach out to the people that are at these target companies for you. And then what is the templates? Here's the templates that you can use to reach out, like creating those things with AI, and then just over delivering to your clients and saying, here is everything you need, and breaking it down into 3 steps. When they work with us, they get 3 steps after every call. Here's the next 3 things you have to do. But it really, really is about a strategy that is focused on engaging with humans, not online job boards.
Yes.
Can I jump in on that, Madeline? Exactly. And what I would add to that is getting creative about it, right? We've been talking about a lot of these strategies for a long time, but now it seems like it requires even taking that extra step. I've been coaching my clients to, mainly executive clients on this one, but solve their problem. Come to them make a video with a PowerPoint, just a few slides of, this is what I think you're trying to solve for, and here's how I would do it. Let's have a conversation. Almost coming in as a consultant. So for executive clients and even not executive clients, people need to get creative now.
To my peers in higher education, I would just say, be ready to not talk about career services when students are coming into your office. They could be facing some housing insecurities, some food insecurities, some other things. Be ready to not talk about career services right away when they come into your appointment, and know what campus resources are available, know what community resources are available, but also realize, as the career services provider on the campus, as much as we want to wave our magic wand and fix everything, we can't. So know what resources are available, be flexible to not have that career services conversation right away. And I think in private practices, as I'm not as familiar with, but I think they would echo this, that like sometimes you can't talk about the career stuff yet until you've cleared some other things out of the way as well. And I think we saw that in 2025, and I think we're going to see more of that in 2026. So I wanted to add into that for higher ed plugin.
Yeah, we
one
all
thing
have
I'd
to acknowledge the whole person, right? Go ahead, Deb.
Yeah. Oh, so sorry. That's so important. And I think all of these tips are absolutely spot on. And the one thing that I've been seeing it in the executive space, certainly, but really for candidates at all levels is this happens all the time, but it really happens when people start to panic, is that they start to widen their net and they try to go after all things, and they can't. No one is hiring generalists right now. No one is hiring generalists. And so to have a really strong strategy, you have to have a hyper focus. And so we've been really not just encouraging, but really making our clients pick a lane. And it doesn't mean that that can be the only thing that they entertain, but it really focuses their search. So they're not trying to, have millions of virtual coffees that go nowhere, or millions of online applications that go nowhere, or whatever it is they may be doing, but focus on their ideal role, but also the ideal company, so that they can put a value proposition together that really is really compelling to their target audience. And then that also flows with the rest of the resume, LinkedIn, and then their job search strategy. You can't really have a strategy without a focus. And so we really are encouraging people to focus more than is even comfortable, because that's when you can put a really impactful value narrative together that actually opens doors. And that's one thing that most people are really resistant to doing right now.
Yeah, man, that takes courage, because it feels like you're eliminating things. But if you're not specific, you're not attracting anything. You're not compelling to anyone.
Exactly.
Well, and I'll add something that kind of brings these together a little bit. It's marketing 101, right? We all think trying to be everything to everyone is going to increase our odds, but all that does is dilute you, and now you become nothing to no one. Mm-hmm. And that is true in our businesses and very true in a job search, which we can take a lot of examples from, I would say, the business and marketing world. And I think everybody made a really clear point here that you have to have a strategy. We are way past the get trigger happy on the apply button and apply to 100 jobs, get 7 interviews, get 3 offers and choose from one. The challenge we have there is, specifically in something like the tech sector, if you haven't job searched since 2022 or earlier, you don't know that's the case. You don't know that we've moved from 6-week job searches in tech to 6-month plus. And so to me, there's a couple things. One, it is everyone needs to have a strategy. And I think there's a lot of notes that all job seekers should be taking out of the way that executives have always searched for jobs. Clear value proposition, tight niche, clear targets. 2, I think that we need to be, as practitioners, out in front educating job seekers and would-be and soon-to-be and everyone to the fact that job searches aren't 6 weeks long anymore, so that the point of intervention comes a lot sooner than the holy crap, my severance ran out and now I have no money and no prospects and I've been doing this for 6 months and spinning my wheels. Mm-hmm. And to that, I also say to all of you out there who might job search, could need to job search, everybody should always be prepared for a job search, because the more runway you give yourself, the better the options and the less desperate you're going to be once they start preparing themselves. So I think we need to be out there educating people to what that realistic runway looks like. And everybody should be thinking about starting sooner and adjusting expectations accordingly, because that is the easiest way to not be as frustrated by how long this will likely take as you consistently and methodically exercise a strategy.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So Erica, we were just giving some tips to people that are helping job seekers or job seekers themselves for how they can get more job search success in 2026.
Great. Well, I think, as you all mentioned, like the future for us as practitioners is that we're part strategists, right? We're educators, we're coaches, we're guides, and we're setting up frameworks for pathways of individuals that we're working with. And we're leading them in these directions, all understanding what they're going through without taking those on personally, but really being empathetic in this space, but also being motivating. And, it is wearing many different hats dependent upon the individual you're working with. And I work in the tech sector a lot. And I think that every day can be very deflating for a lot of individuals, like NVIDIA and just all of the different layoffs every day. So it's just keeping that morale going for the individuals that we're working with is going to be really important, just across the board. But I would say in tech specifically right now, I think that it's just they're struggling, and we need to be there for them and show them that there is a future and be supportive for them. So I think anything we can do to continuously empower, engage, and prepare, I think is really important. Thanks.
So if you are in career services and you feel motivated by these conversations, like this is the things that happened in the hallways. When my master's professor told me years ago, he said, Marie, the magic of a conference is not with your butt in the chair. Like the magic of a conference is what happens in the hallways. And this is why we go, because you can sit on a Zoom event, you can talk to people all day over the little pictures. But when you get in person with people, there's just a magic that happens. There's a connection for referrals, for connections, for all of the things that will happen in your career as a career services provider. These relationships that will help you through your career and your career trajectory. That's why we go. Yes, you're going to learn from these wonderful people that you see on screen and get their expertise, their frameworks, their tools that you can take and help your clients the next day. But then you're going to have these lifelong connections with people that will be your support group in this profession that is often even misunderstood on a college campus, let alone from small business to small business as we sit in our own little fiefdom sometimes with no one else to talk to. So I love this group. I love these events because it gives you that opportunity to do that. We welcome all career services practitioners from corporate, nonprofit, university. It's kind of one of the unique spaces in the field where people come from all these different places to share ideas and to do the best we can do for our clients. So thank you all for joining and sharing your insights today. And please, if you've been watching today, reach out and connect with these folks and build your network so that we can all do better at helping our clients succeed in their careers in 2026 and beyond. Thank you, everyone. We'll see you again next Tuesday. Thank you.